our lessons. All right, so here we go. For those who weren't here, what do we do? What's our first step? Yes, Dan? Calculate which ones you're going to be calculating together. Thank you. That's clear as not much. So we know that in between the brackets there's a multiplier. Yeah, you knew that? And we basically have to times everything in one bracket by everything in the other. And we do the same process over and over again. So we're going to take the 4, we're going to times that by that 4, times it by that 5x. Do you remember this? Yep. So it's not going to hurt your brain too much, agreed? 4 times 4. We're going to try and do these without a calculator. If some of you have got issues with times tables, again, I don't know you enough at this point in time. So my other class, I know who's got issues with their times tables, and we've got a little thing that we can fix that up with. So let me know if you struggle. 4 times 5, okay. It's a 4 times a 5x, 4 5s are 20, and then we whack in our x. I'm just going slow because people might have been absent and you might have forgotten. Then we got to do underneath. That didn't sound very good, did it? Got it. We have to. We've got to. Now, remember, we look in front. This one's a negative times a positive. So what's a negative times a positive? Negative. Excellent. So we pop the negative there and then we can ignore. X times 4. Instead of writing x times 4, I'm just going to write 4x. Thank you. Front whispered to me. And then a minus times a positive again is a minus. What's x times 5x? Thank you, Paige. 5x squared. Doable? Are we done? No. We gather our like terms. Okay, so who wants to tell us what the bottom line will be, or the last line? Go, Dev. Yep. Oh, well done. So 20, so 20x is like $20, and then you spent 4, so absolutely you've got 16 left, and don't forget the x minus 5x squared. Now, I'm quite happy with this. What you will notice when you check your answers, they will have it as minus 5x squared plus 16x plus 16. They like to go x squared, then x, then the number. Now, I'm not going to mark you wrong, right? I'm quite happy with this, but you might want to start, as you get a little bit older. So my year 10s, they would not be able to write that. They'd have to write the one in yellow. Okay, so, and you're marking with the back, so there you go. Are you happy to keep working on and I can just come around and chinwag? Or have we got major questions? Yep. So my friend, as we said, it is 5B from question 2 onwards. And this is the bit where practice makes perfect and you can do it quickly and accurately. So we're doing question 5. You should have all done question 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And if you've been getting them all right, I'm happy to negotiate with question 5, just the left-hand side. How's that sound? If you need more practice, then you do them all. And then let me know, you can start your worksheet. Nice. Okay, so when we're doing these ones, we are expanding, just like we did before. Do the arrows or don't do the arrows. X times x, that's fine, is x squared. X times minus 2 is minus 2x. 2 times x is 2x. We're happy with that? 2 times 2 is 4, but a positive times a negative is a negative, right? Minus 2 plus 2, they cancel. We're left with x squared take 4.
My father's here.
All right. Make sure you sign out, though. When we now do this one, 3x times 3x. So maybe look at it and write it down. It's 3x times 3x. So you have to go 3 times 3, which is 9. And then you've got the x squared, yeah? Then we've got 3 times minus 1, which is -3. Henry, I can hear you from here. I shouldn't be able to. And then we've got 1 times 3, which is 3x. And then we've got 1 times minus 1, which is -1. And what happens? Once again, the -3 and the +3 cancel out. So we've got 9x squared take 1. Have you noticed a pattern? So even if you haven't done it, if you look back, you look at this, you look at your answer, there's only 2 terms. 2 terms. What is the pattern? Yep. You always get rid of the 2 numbers in the middle. And what's this number here? So if I just chucked in a, let's go with a x take, let's go with 7 times x plus 7. Could you tell me what the answer is without having to actually expand, yeah? Ooh. X squared, I would argue with the plus. Like, I just want to go straight to this step. Huh? It's going to be a take, right? Because this was a take, and why? Because it's plus times a minus. And what's my last answer? Is it 7? Look at this. This was 2, this was 4. It's going to actually be 49. Correct. Hang on. Eyes this way. This is important stuff. So what if we just did one more? What if we had x take 6, x plus 6? What would my expansion be then? X squared take 36. It's not 12, it's 36. Because what are we actually doing? Oh, yes, you're multiplying, but what's a better definition of it? Squaring, that's right. So you have come up with a bit of a pattern that when we have, and what do we know about these? They're the same, but there's a different sign in the middle. So would you say when I've got A take B times A plus B, what is your answer? How did we get this? A squared minus B squared. This is a rule. And I need you to write that down somewhere or have it in a little bit of a box. Now when you do question 4, and don't worry, I'm coming back up. When you do question 4 and you're doing these perfect squares, and some of you have asked me, I don't know how to do this, but what does squaring mean? Times by itself, and then you expand as per usual. Again, when you do these, I want you to look at your final answer and see, is there a pattern? Could you see a connection and go straight to this without having to do all the stuff in the middle, right? Answer this question. What do you notice about the middle terms? So even if you did it, go back and answer that question. So we're going to write that down and hopefully you're going to come up with another answer as well.